guys. So today we're making easy kimchi tofu miso stew. So you should have all your ingredients. The water I will get fresh when okay, sorry, there's some echo. Hold on a second. Let me. Okay, this should be better, I hope. Okay, is that better? All right, so the water I will get fresh, and then the tofu I'll take out the last minute because it's like 81 degrees in New York City. So let's get started. So first you should have your frozen meatballs. I took them out like maybe around a half hour before. And all we're going to do is we're going to chop them into quarters. And the reason why I'm chopping them into quarters is to make it easier for people to eat. So I don't know if you can see this. I do not want to leave this site. Okay, so can you see here? I'm just chopping the frozen meatballs into quarters. You might have a hard time doing this if you just took them out, if you didn't defrost them. So you can do it later. I just wanted them to be ready. And I have 10 meatballs here. So I hope everyone is doing well. If you're just joining, all we're doing is we're chopping our frozen meatballs into quarters. And you want to make sure that they're as equal size as possible, so they'll heat up around the same rate. And also chopping them into quarters is good because that way the middle of the meatball won't be frozen. It allows it to cook better. I'm not chopping these very well, and you can use any frozen cooked meat. These are already cooked. They're not raw. If you use raw meat, you just have to be careful that you're cooking it all the way. So these I'm just going to break apart. Okay. So after we finish chopping these into quarters, we will get half a cup of water. All right. There you go. Okay. So chop the meatballs into quarters. Oh, these are a little bit big. Some of them are not. Well, it's all right. Okay, so those are the meatballs. And over here we have our pot. And in the pot, I'm going to put half a cup of water. So I've just put half a cup of water in the pot. Here is half a cup of water. And all I'm doing is I'm turning on the stove. I am heating it up on the stove. And then after it boils, which should be really fast because we have the lid on and it's only half a cup, so keep an eye on it. If you're nervous about missing it, then what you can do is you can set a timer for I don't think it'll take more than 2 minutes, but you can just set a timer for 2 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to open our kimchi. And you don't want to lose any of the kimchi sauce. The kimchi sauce is really what's going to help make your thing taste good. So if you have canned kimchi or kimchi in a bag, you want to take some of the juice from that. So we've opened up our kimchi can. It's ready to go. We're waiting for our water to boil, which should be really soon. We just want it to heat up a little bit. Then so after this boils, we're going to open up our miso packets and put them in there. And then let me see what the next step is. And those miso packets, let me get the bag. They're just these miso soup packets. It says mild sodium miso soup. And it comes in 4 flavors, but we won't be using any of the flavoring today. So this is like an age tofu, wakame, which is like a seaweed, negi, which is like green onion, and tofu, which is just this plain white tofu that you see. But we won't be using any of that seasoning. We're just using these 2 miso packets. Okay. So the water's already starting to boil. And it's been like maybe 3 minutes because I started the timer late. Okay, so now I'm going to open up the miso packet here. And we just put that right into the pot carefully. Okay, so that's 1 miso packet. Now we're going to use the next one. Okay. And I'm just getting one of these to mix it with. So I'm just mixing around the miso so it doesn't burn. I'm going to turn the heat a little lower so it doesn't burn. So I'm just stirring to get the miso all in the water. And it should go pretty fast because you don't have a lot of water in there. All right. So the next thing we're going to put in is our kimchi. All right. And you want to get all of that sauce from the kimchi. And I'm just putting the whole can in. I got these cans off Amazon. I don't know if they still sell them, but I really like how they taste. I think they're very tasty. Okay, so we got, I think it's not too spicy, and I think it's pretty good. All right. So you see it's like an empty can now. So we've mixed it all up. So it's got the kimchi and the sauce and the miso. And then now I'm going to put in those meatballs, the frozen meatballs that we chopped. And then now, after you stir it around, I'm just going to cover it. And then now we want to give it like maybe another 2 to 3 minutes. So I just set the timer for 2 minutes. And then we will put in the, some people put the egg in last, but I think I'm going to put the egg in next because I want the egg to cook a little more. Traditional kimchi tofu stew, you put the egg in last and you spoon the broth over it to cook it a little bit, but I like my egg a little bit more cooked, so I'm going to put the egg in and then the tofu. So we have maybe about like a minute and a half left. So you can see this is a really fast meal to make. It's been less than 10 minutes and it's just really straightforward if you want like an easy dinner. You can put anything in here. You can put like sausage, like cooked sausage, chicken sausage. Yeah. All right. So you can see we have less than a minute left. And we'll put in the egg and then the tofu. So once I crack the egg open and put it in there, actually, I'm going to crack the egg and put it in a bowl first. And that way I can pick out any eggshell because I'm not very good at cracking eggs. So crack it. Ah, that was horrible. But I don't think there's any eggshell in there. And just washing my hands. Oh. All right, that was a little better. Not much better, but a little better. Okay. Turn the timer off. Just check for eggshells. Oh, and make sure I don't get egg on my laptop. Anyway, I think it's okay. We just put the egg inside. And then we'll set the timer for another 2 minutes. And I'm going to stir it a little bit because the frozen meatballs were cooking. So I'm just going to stir it a little bit and make sure the frozen meatballs get all that kimchi flavor. And those are, you can use any frozen meatballs, but these are frozen meatballs that we had made earlier. Or like any frozen cooked meat, really. Like maybe you have some frozen ham in the fridge or frozen cooked chicken for some reason. Okay, so that's cooking. I'm going to get out the tofu. So this is the tofu we just picked up today at Trader Joe's. And no, it's not a product placement, unfortunately. And then I'm just going to use this little knife to open it. So, and I'm just going to drain this tofu. So let me bring it to the sink and drain it. So you see, I just made a slit in this side. And then if you just make a slit in one side, it's much easier to drain. And you could cut it into 4, but I'm actually not going to cut it into 4. I'm just going to let it break up in the pot. All right, so. Okay, so you see I've cut 3 sides. And here's the tofu. It's not silken tofu, but that's okay. I guess they didn't have silken tofu. It's all right. It is what it is. Okay, so there's like 11 seconds left. I'm going to turn the timer off. The egg is now cooked to my liking. And I'm going to just gently put the tofu in. It's in. I'm going to break it up with our spatula. And now you just cover it. Before I cover it, I'm going to show it to you guys so you can see what it looks like. I know it's pretty blasphemous that I'm not using like silken tofu, but, and also that I put the egg in earlier, but it's okay. You can do what you like. That's my philosophy. So I'm just going to show you guys really quick what it looks like. So you can see the meatballs, and you don't see much of the egg because it's on the bottom, but there's the tofu, and I'm just going to cover it and cook it for like a minute, and then you're done. That's it. Very easy. So let me I'm just gonna wash out the tofu container while I'm waiting. Put it in the recycle. And we have, so there's like 37 seconds left. I find this a good time to like clean up, throw away packets. So like this kimchi can, I'll rinse and put in the recycle. And it's just a good time to like, I guess the professional chefs, they call it mise en place, to keep your area clean. Okay, so I've mostly cleaned it and now I'm putting it in the recycle. And yeah, we have 3 seconds left. So now you can serve it in the pot, which I might do because it's like easier to clean up. See there? There's our tofu, our kimchi tofu miso stew. It's super easy to make. You can make, I made it in less than 17 minutes. It's so easy, as long as you have all the ingredients. And thank you for joining us today. And I hope we can do another one of these cooking shows sometime. Thank you. Bye.